the three vices that are sabotaging your success. We're talking about D.A.P, drugs, alcohol, and porn. Let's dive into this episode of The Happy Hustle.
Do you want blissful balance in your personal and professional life? Great. What's up, guys? My name is Kerry Jack, and I want to help you happy hustle a life you love, one full of passion, purpose, and positive impact. I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur, a professional model/actor, a digital marketing specialist, a podcast host, author, a biohacker, an eco-warrior, a martial artist, a hippie cowboy, and a humanitarian. My goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain you to live a life of passion, purpose, and positive impact. It is time to happy hustle your dream reality.
The three biggest vices that are sabotaging your success. And maybe you don't even know it. These will crush your focus, drain your energy, and destroy your discipline. So here's how to fix them. What's up, y'all? My name is Kerry Jack, and I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. I can say USA Today best-selling author. Check this out. Boom! My wife actually just made this awesome shadow box that has my USA Today number 39 list on the paper and a little, couple keepsakes in there. And I can also say founder of The Happy Hustle and someone who is going to keep it real with you today. Someone who can tell you straight up these three vices are sabotaging your success. And we're talking about D.A.P, drugs, alcohol, and porn. Now I'm going to hit you with some shocking statistics, and then I'm going to hit you with how you can actually remedy the situation if you are falling victim to either or all three of these vices. Now, let's just start with the big picture. Okay. 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. Why? Distractions and vices, right? And entrepreneurs thrive when they have focus, energy, and clarity and discipline. But if you have these three vices in your routine in any capacity, you might want to just take a look and identify if they're actually helping you achieve your dream reality. So we're going to dive in and how you can actually fix it. Now, first and foremost, we're going to talk about drugs, okay? Now, statistic number one that I want to hit you with. Substance use disorder is twice as prevalent in entrepreneurs than the general population. That's according to UC Berkeley study, and it is kind of alarming to think about that. Another stat, 33% of entrepreneurs report a lifetime history of mental illness, many which self-medicate with substances. That's from the NIMH, the National Institute of Mental Health. And then the third stat, marijuana use has increased by over 25% among professionals under the age of 40 since 2020, citing creativity and stress relief. But studies show that it actually reduces motivation and executive function over time. So these things, this is in addition to like stimulants and ketamine and plant medicines and psilocybin, all that I loop into this category of drugs. Now, some are more natural than others. Obviously, something like Adderall versus something like caffeine, a little different, right? Pharmaceutical versus more naturally occurring. However, I want to share with you how these affect you and maybe how it is sabotaging your success, right? Because when we are doing those types of substances, we are evading reality and we're not fully present, focused in the moment. And they don't actually do, I think, you service as an entrepreneur. Now, there's some pieces that I would say can help you, right? They can help with creativity and, some things can help with energy production, etc. But for the most part, drugs as a broad spectrum don't have a place in my life. And I don't recommend it for our happy hustlers out there who are looking to live that holistic, systematic harmonization of ambition and well-being. The people who really want to be godly representatives of someone crushing it, both personally and professionally. Let me just say, they also have long-term damage to your neural pathways. Obviously, drugs can affect your brain in a negative way. My happy hustle hack to, get high on nature supply, is breath work, is cold plunges. And those, my friend, are much greater than the benders or the blunts, right? So get on a trampoline, jump up and down, shake out the lymphatic system. You'll get a natural high, especially when you're meditating or going deep or listening to some ecstatic dance music. But I would refrain from the drugs if you want to achieve your dream reality. So that's just something I want to bring to your attention. That is the first one, drugs. Now let's get into alcohol. It's the legal poison, right? Now, a couple stats here. Even moderate alcohol, in 1 to 2 drinks a day, can reduce sleep quality by 24%, according to the Sleep Foundation. Number 2 stat, alcohol impairs cognitive function up to 72 hours after binge drinking. That's according to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. And then stat 3 is in a global study of over 600,000 people, researchers found the safest alcohol consumption level is 0 for long-term health. Not to mention, it's responsible for 1 in 10 deaths among working aged adults. Okay, so there's a problem. You have to understand, when to use alcohol and when not. I personally am in moderation kind of guy. I'll drink a brewski with the boys every now and again when we get off our mastermind trips, or have a nice glass of wine with my wife. But I don't think it's something that needs to be a crutch in my life, and I don't recommend it for yours either. So there's this lie that you're winding down with a beverage, but what's really happening is it's winding away from your well-being. And yeah, there's something to be said about alcohol in social settings. I know there's properties like resveratrol in wine, but at the large scope, it is a toxin. It goes in your body. It has a detrimental effect. It affects your leadership. It affects your confidence. It affects your productivity. It has an effect. Alcohol, use it wisely, but realize that largely, if you have a problem with it, meaning you're drinking more than, I would say, once a week or twice a week, you might look at it as, hey, this is actually holding me back from where I want to get to. So Happy Hustle hack here is upgrade to maybe mocktails, adaptogenic mocktails, or kombucha. Maybe it's a cleaner buzz for you than the alcohol would beget. And also, it doesn't come with a hangover. So look at some alternatives that are also, giving you that experience of sipping a drink, but not with the alcohol negative effects like a non-alcoholic beer I'll enjoy every now and again. I love myself a good red beer, they call it, michelada, a nice Hefeweizen with a nice tomato kind of Bloody Mary mix. That's my go-to when I am going to drink, or I'd like a good old fashioned too. However, it's very rare, very few and far between that you'll catch me drinking like hard alcohol anymore. I just don't have a place for it. Okay, the third sabotager of our success is porn, especially nowadays. Here's some stats that are kind of crazy. Regular porn use shrinks the brain's gray matter and desensitizes the reward system, reducing real life motivation, according to Cambridge Neuroscience and Study. And then stat 2, over 35% of internet downloads are porn related, and it's a $15 billion industry according to Forbes and Webroot. That's crazy. And then porn addiction rewires dopamine receptors, similar to how cocaine does, leading to decreased satisfaction, ambition, and connection, according to neuroscience and biobehavioral reviews. So, moral of the story here, it comes with the cost, that porn usage. And for me, I haven't used porn in a long time, years. I like to fantasize about my wife, and I'll use old pictures or videos or stuff like that. But I know that's a lot of information, but I won't, use external porn. That's, you're not saying I haven't done it, but that's just something that doesn't serve me, and it doesn't serve my marriage. So that's just where I stand on it. And it really does distort your connection and the intimacy between you as a partner. And if you're seeking a counterpart, it paints these unrealistic expectations oftentimes. So think about it for you. If it's a problem, maybe look into some support. And a Happy Hustle hack here is do a dopamine detox challenge. Focus on real connections, real friendships over that fake stimulation. We have the perfect partner page in the Happy Hustle book. That's very helpful. So if I was going to recommend anything, it would just be do an honest assessment right now when it comes to the drugs, the alcohol, and the porn in your life. Is it sabotaging your success silently, or is it somewhat loud? So here's my kind of synopsis here. Break free of the chains and happy hustle your dream reality without the D.A.P. right? Audit your daily habits and if they're life giving or life draining you, right? Build a tribe that values discipline over the distractions. Practice those swaps that can help avoid the usage. So cold exposure is definitely greater than cocaine. Mocktails over margaritas, right? Intimacy over the incognito mode, right? You think about this for you and how you can actually practice those swaps to happy hustle a dream reality that you're proud of, that you'd be proud of for your kids. So I invite you all to have, some mocktails. Think of me and hopefully the happy hustle, and also go vice free. Really think about how you can get yourself out of those dark vices, those sacrificing, those habits that you sacrifice your success in the process when you surrender to them. So I hope that was valuable for you. Short, sweet, to the point. I freaking love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for watching, listening. Send it to somebody who maybe needs to hear it. Someone who's maybe struggling with the D.A.P in their life, the drugs, alcohol, and porn, and maybe this can help them. So that's it for now. Peace and love. I'm out, y'all. Thank you.